Feels like game week in El Paso, man. Come on. Jim said, hey, you didn't tell me the boss is going to be here now, Adrian, man. You got me nervous, man. That's right. I'm sure. What's up, bro? I'll just set it down here. Thank you very much.
That's a good one.
All right, Drew, good to go here?
Yeah, whenever, if you want to. You and I are figuring out for last place. That's because you were
Everybody ready? Everybody good? Everybody good? All right, cool. All right, well, welcome to game week in El Paso. I'm very honored and excited for this week. It's been a long time coming. I feel like just yesterday I was doing my opening press conference, getting the job here, and it's been a whirlwind, been an unbelievable journey to get here. So we're really excited about game week, finally being here in El Paso, and to get our team, on the road and to go play a great opponent. First off, I just want to start this. Got a couple notes and kind of opening deals I want to give you guys, some announcements to make. First thing, I just want to thank Jim Cardwell and the Cardwell family. Our locker room project was a $5 million project, and he donated the lead gift to our locker room. And so beyond thankful and grateful to Jim and his family for their support of our program, to be able to bring in high-level recruits and to provide a home, more importantly, that our players are excited to go in every day. And that's what's really cool to see is our guys light up every time they go in there, not just the first time. So I want to thank Jim and his family. A couple other notes. I want to start out with the elephant in the room, the quarterback battle, right? Everybody, I know I'm going to get asked questions on that. I just want to give an update on that. We are going to make a decision on that. I'll probably looking to make a decision on that probably Wednesday or Thursday this week. Those two guys, Skylar Locklear and Cade McConnell, have been unbelievable. And it has been literally a back and forth battle. I know I've gotten question after question on it. You go through and you look at those guys' completion rate, you look at their touchdown drives, you look at everything. It is so amazing how even it is. I think I was looking at it again last night, and this is pretty incredible. I think each of them have attempted the same number of passes against the defense. It's like 278. It's the exact number. And so it's really, really cool to see, those two guys compete. Their leadership has been outstanding. And I think the team has responded to both of them. I'm starting to see a little separation in some categories that matter, and I want to really get through the game plan with Nebraska, see how they handle it, and see how they handle the first game week, together, doing a blue-collar Tuesday, doing a situational Wednesday. So I plan on, looking to make an announcement on that, looking at probably later in the week, on Wednesday or Thursday, okay? So I just want to give you guys an update on the quarterback battle. I appreciate your patience and understanding of that. And then I want to announce, we got some big announcements in our program that I want to give to you. First off, we always give a tradition that we have in our shop is to give a single-digit number out to the most dominant and outstanding D lineman for the Orange Swarm, which is our defense. And so we presented the first annual, we call it the Trench Warrior Award here at UTEP for the Orange Swarm to Sione Tonga-Wiha, who is a senior from the state of Arizona, who will be wearing, and it'll be good for you guys to know, he was wearing number 99. He will now be wearing number 3. He is an amazing young man. Since our staff has gotten here, he has been totally bought into our culture, and he has been an amazing leader in our program and in our locker room. And he's been physical as all get out, and sets the standard for what we want to do on the D-line. We want to build this program contrary to popular belief. I know we talk about the offensive playing fast and stuff like that, but, we want to build this program inside out, starting with a great offensive line and defensive line. And so that's part of the culture that we want to build up front. You'll see K.D. Johnson continuing to wear his number 7. I didn't revoke that from him. He earned it. He earned to keep it because if you wear we want to make a legacy here, a history here. If you wear a single-digit number and you play defensive line, that's a bad dude. That's a guy who's earned it. Obviously, Giovanni Gardier could not feel more confident in that decision from our staff. This young man plays every spot on the field on offense, and his strength is in his fight. Just like Luke, man, talking to Babe Laufenberg, and we obviously want to honor the Laufenberg family through this award and keep that legacy going. Again, I've give a shout out to my predecessor, Coach Dimmel, and his staff. I thought they did an amazing job honoring the life of Luke, and we want to continue that tradition in our program. And so I just want to commend Giovanni on winning that award. That's huge. And then I want to go down and talk about our Unity Council. Our Unity Council is voted on our team. The players vote on this, and this is the bridge between the coaches and players. I will be meeting with these 13 individuals every single week to talk about different things in our program. Obviously, the funnest thing they love talking about is they get to pick the uniforms each week, so that's pretty fun for those guys. But we are trying to create a player-driven program, and you have to give ownership to those players, and these guys have embodied all that, and they've been. This is not the coaches don't select this. I'll show you the captains here in a minute. We select those as coaches, but our Unity Council is voted upon by our players, and they go as follows by position: quarterback Cade McConnell, running back Javon Jackson, minor back Cam Thomas, wide receiver Trey Goodman, offensive lineman Brennan Smith, tight end Judah Ezwina, D lineman Sione Tongo Wiha, linebacker Trey Dunson, bandit Maurice Westmoreland, safety Oscar Moore, spur Corey Chapman, corner AJ Odoms, specialist Angelo Tejada, and true freshman Shea Smith. We will always have a true freshman on the deal to represent that freshman class, and Shea was voted on that. So those 13 young men, really, really excited to announce that, for our Unity Council. And then to give you our season captains, the coaching staff, we do not pick captains until after fall camp because fall camp's the hardest thing by far that we do in our program. And these 6 guys, I could not be more proud to announce to you on each side of the ball. We do 2 on each side of the ball. These guys will remain consistent as our captains throughout the entire year. And then we will also each week name somewhere between 1 and 3 additional game captains that we feel like have had a great week of practice and preparation. And again, it could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3 guys. We want to really glorify guys in our program that are living to the standard and representing the UTEP culture and what we're building here. And so we will award those guys. Now, so starting out with the Orange Swarm, these 2 men will serve as captains for our football team, and were selected by their coaching staff through a rigorous amount of meetings, and we took this very seriously because we got to get these right. And the Orange Swarm captains are Maurice Westmoreland, our bandit, and Corey Chapman, our spur. I think those 2 guys have exemplified what it means to play on the Orange Swarm defense, to hunt the football, to live with character and leadership off the field. I've been very impressed with those 2 young men. To go to the Blue Blaze, the offensive captains for the Blue Blaze will be wide receiver Trey Goodman and running back Javon Jackson. We feel like those 2 guys have had outstanding camps, outstanding springs and summers, and those are guys that not only talk the talk but walk the walk. Trey and Corey, it's kind of a unique deal how it happened. Trey and Corey are a little more your vocal leaders, but they also back it up with what they do. Javon and Maurice are a little more silent assassins, and I think it's a really good blend. Because when Maurice and when Javon speak, people listen. But they play with a hard edge, and they've had a heck of a fall camp. Very proud to announce those guys. And then lastly, on defense, these 2 young men have stood out and just given their all. I mean, they every single time we put them out there, they know no speed but full speed, and they understand what defense, how important it is in our program. I think we are meeting on defense a lot more than maybe some of these guys have done, and walking through it more. It is a side of the ball that we do not plan on neglecting. We want to use to our advantage, and these 2 guys embody that. Starting out with AJ Odoms. AJ obviously plays corner, but his effort on defense stood out to us week 1, and his attention to detail in defense. And he came out in the mock game and had a big-time play on our Death Dealers unit, which is our kickoff unit. Again, I think we talked about this, but our defensive units are named after the different brigades at Fort Bliss to honor them. And the Death Dealers unit, how fitting for that to be your kickoff unit, right? It's pretty good. That's what we want to embody, and AJ embodies that with his speed and his physicality. And then Cam Thomas will be our other defensive captain. He is an electric returner. Takes his craft serious, and I think he's got a chance to be one of the better returners in the league. Last but not least, very excited. to announce summer team GPA was a 3.12. Very, very proud of these guys' work off the field. Had a 3.10 in the spring and now raised it to a 3.12. I want to give a shout out to the MAC and Heather and Denise and Maria and what they do for our players. And then I want to also give a shout out. I said this after our mock game, but this is unbelievable. We had 98% availability of our football team during fall camp. And I can tell you right now, for those of you that attended practice and saw what we did, like I've told you, this is the hardest thing that we do in our program. We had 2.5 hour, 3 hour practices. We're physical, we're hitting. These guys, we're up here walking through till 9, 10 o'clock at night. Nobody's going home, leaving here 6, 5 o'clock. I mean, these guys are busting their tail, and I'm so proud of them. I'm also very proud of Morgan DeMartini, our head athletic trainer for football, Stephen Curtis, our head nutritionist with football, and very proud of Chris Campbell and his entire strength staff with Tremaine, Coach Jones, and Coach Leach. Those guys have done an amazing job of training our players, and I think it speaks to we can still practice intense and physical and still remain healthy due to the fact that we care about our bodies off the field. And so I think our players done an amazing job with that. So just some announcements I want to give you. Obviously, we have a big-time test this week against a Power 4 opponent, Nebraska. A ton of respect for Matt Rule and his program. I'm sure I'll get some questions on this, so I won't take too much, but they're extremely physical on offense, running the ball downhill. Defensively, going to be by far, in my opinion, I would be shocked if we played a better defense than what we're going to play. Game one, they return 8 starters. It's by far the most diverse defense that I've gone against in my career, seen on tape. People say it's a 3-3 stack, and some people think you're just going to line up in an odd stack, and that's what it is. No, sirree. That ain't it. It is. It'll be 4 down in a heartbeat. It'll be 2 high, 1 high, 3 high. And Tony White, the defensive coordinator over there, is a heck of a football coach. El Paso native. I want to shout that out. It's awesome to see El Paso is doing big time things, and no doubt in my mind, Tony White's going to be a head football coach really soon. He does an amazing job on the defensive side of the ball. So we know we got our work cut out for us, but we're excited for the challenge. We're excited to take this football team up to Lincoln. Our kids are excited to play in front of a great crowd and to go out and to compete. So we're excited to have a great week of preparation. So with that, I'll turn it over to you guys for questions.
I guess at the quarterback position, when you pick someone, first of all, does the team know yet? And second of all, when you pick someone, or is the idea going to be that person plays the entire game, or are you going to maybe want to look at the other one?
Yeah, number one, the team does not know yet. Nobody knows yet. I'm starting to lean a certain way. To be honest with you, I have a pretty getting a strong feeling. But I want to see this game week and how they handle game prep. Would not be against. If it's close, would not be against playing 2 guys early, as we've discussed, Brett. I've been in a quarterback battle that's been close, and sometimes we played guys, 2 guys in the first 2 games, and if it's the first 3 games, so be it. We're going to do everything we can to find, who the right guy behind center is, and obviously in college football, you don't get preseason games, so that makes it difficult, right? I can do everything possible in my power in scrimmages to assess them, but until I put them in front of 100,000 people, and there's it'll be a great test. No better test that we could have them play in Nebraska with all the different looks they're going to give us, and they're certainly not going to make it easy on our quarterbacks. But we've had those guys go live, so I've gotten to kind of test them a little bit. They've gone live in scrimmages and have had to deal with getting tackled. Deal with having 4 to 5 guys trying to rip their face off, and that changes things a little bit. And so it was good to see that, and we came out healthy. That was number one. But it's good to see that when we did that. But the team doesn't know right now. And if a guy takes it and absolutely runs away with it, then he'll play. And if we have a plan to play both, then we'll have that plan. But those things in game deals, especially with quarterback, those things can change in a heartbeat. Because let's say that I decide to, we're going to roll with, somebody, then we're going to end up playing both. Heck, man, I put that guy the first 3 drives. He's out there. We scored 21 points. He ain't coming out the game, So it's also a game feel thing as well. So, that's where that stands.
In terms of preparation for those two, like how are you, there's only one group. How are you going to go about that this week?
Yeah, so we're going to stay with what we've done for fall camp in terms of, we'll have one guy go with the ones, the next guy go with the twos, and then that guy that goes with the twos will roll back with the ones, and we'll split the reps evenly with the one group right there. I think that we charted this last night. This is a crazy stat between, and I want to make sure I got it right. I may be off by a few, but we charted last night, and it was eye opening between spring, summer, and fall. Okay, our quarterbacks against the defense is not on air. Against a defense, our quarterbacks have attempted somewhere between 3,500 to 4,000 throws against the defense. And that is like that. So I feel 100% confident. I mean, you're talking about that. That's like, I don't know, I'm a math bad, but that's like 4 or 5 seasons worth, you know what I'm saying, in a deal. And it may not be in a live setting, scrimmage setting, but that is anytime we're going against the defense, we chart those throws. And so these guys have gotten a lot of reps with every receiver. I would feel nervous if, we had been just giving one guy the 1 reps and he had only been working with this nucleus of receivers. I'd be nervous for the continuity and the chemistry. But the way also we do routes on air and the way that we structure our practices allows those guys to work evenly with the guys they're throwing to. And so I feel very confident that we can continue with the rep structure we have and still be effective.
Yeah, kind of jumping off that, Coach. When it's this close to the season and for the quarterback battle, how much do you rely on the pass? Obviously, Skylar already being in your system before, but you have Cade who played here at UTEP for a good part of last season. How big of a factor is that going to be this week? Yeah.
I think 2 things. It's funny. Sometimes I got to remember it's Skylar's 3rd year in our system. And at times, I feel like, because I'm at a new place, I'm at a new program, and I'm in my mind when I go out there sometimes I'm like, okay, there's 2 new quarterbacks who've never run this system, and then all of a sudden, I'm sitting there calling a play, and Skylar finishes the signal for me, and I'm like, well, how the heck does he know that? It's like, oh yeah, it's year 3, for him essentially, and so that has obviously been, something I felt early on was a massive advantage for him. But even going through the numbers again, what's really cool to see is Cade. In spring started out, I don't want to say struggling because the guy wasn't struggling. He was just picking up the system. But over the course of time, he's caught up. And that's been really cool to see, like how fast he's grasped this system and grasped this offense. There's just a lot of things that we do that I think that it's just different than conventional football. And I mean that in the sense of like, we've even had to talk about that our offensive line. Like there's sometimes like, we are not, like I am not going to be able to tell you how Nebraska's going to line up to every single one of our formations off tempo because we're going so fast sometimes, we don't know how they're going to line up. So we have to have set rules within our system that allow those guys to play fast and not be predicated on the perfect look versus the perfect play because that doesn't exist. There's no such thing as the perfect play. And there's no such thing as the perfect look. We may catch them, one time in a great look. Oh, there it is, baby. We got them in man. We got them in zone. That's what we wanted. But very rarely are you ever in the course of a game going to have the defense perfectly aligned how you want them. And so we have to teach our guys to play uncomfortable and play in the chaos. And that's what something I think Cade has adapted to, like understanding, hey man, like I know that like it's like last night we had to deal with it a little bit because last night was the first time going against, the developmental squad and we don't wait on them. Like we're about to run a play and we may have 1 D lineman up there. And, they're back there sometimes. Even Skylar did it one time, and both of them are kind of like, waiting, okay, let me let the coaches get the defense set. No, that's not reality for us because the defense is not going to get set against us. And so we have to be able to train that way and be able to make sure that, we're working things that are going to be realistic. And that's give and take, right? Like we're going to work situations where they are set, and we do have to identify things. And but I think that's been a learning curve. But Cade, I'll tell you what, his football IQ is as good as anybody I've been around. His maturity level as a young man is unbelievable. I mean, this guy can be a coach right now if he wanted to. Obviously, he's going to be a heck of an announcer. I told him the other day, I was like, don't forget about me when you're doing, you're on ESPN. Just give me a shout and let me do an interview with you, man. Because he's an impressive kid. I know you guys know him, and he has worked his tail off to learn this system. So those 2 guys, I could not be more excited about the 2 guys we have there.
Just looking at the other side, obviously Nebraska named Raiola as their starting QB, true freshman. I guess how how do you go about that? A true freshman starting, I know he's a spectacular talent, but how have you guys kind of prepared for them, or how are you guys heading into this game facing against them?
Yeah, I don't think we made too much of it, other than the fact that he's a heck of a player. He might be a freshman, but he's one of the most talented freshmen I've seen. I mean, he was ranked one of the top quarterbacks, if not number one, number two in the nation, coming out of high school for a reason. I mean, this guy throws an elite deep ball. Obviously, being a freshman quarterback, that's always, as a coach, you put a freshman out there, there's always going to be some type of learning curve, I'm sure, within their system. They're going to have to, iron out with him and stuff like that. But this guy, to me, everything I've read about him, everything I've seen about him, everything I've studied on him, he looks like a student of the game, somebody that respects the game, and I cling to guys like that and respect people like that, and he respects the game and studies it, and he's going to be prepared, and he's as talented as any quarterback will play all year. I mean, he is. Again, I think his future is through the roof. He's got NFL pedigree written all over him. He throws a deep ball that has been fun to study, fun to see. I'm hoping it's not too fun to see on Saturday because he can sling it. He can extend the play. But the thing, I think the more important thing is the pieces that they have around him that they have brought in. I think they've done a great job. I mean, you look at their offensive line, I guarantee they average 307 to 310 pounds on the offensive line. They got, really, to me, 3, maybe 4 running backs. The top 2, the Thunder and Lightning, to me, those guys are physical, big backs that can run. And I think that having that run game with their tight ends as well. Their tight ends they're really high on, which you can tell on tape why. That helps a freshman quarterback, because what it's going to do is allow them to, try to establish the run, get us with our eyes in the backfield, and then allow him to try to take an easy shot, in one-on-one coverage. And we got to do a great job staying on top of the cut. And they brought in 2 receivers, a transfer from Texas, transfer from Wake Forest. They've got a slot receiver that ran a 10.5 in high school who is just absolutely dynamic. So we got our work cut out for us. They got a center who is a returning starter, who's a preseason all-conference cat. I think his last name's Scott, if I'm not mistaken. 6'5", over 300 pounds, and at center. That's how big my tackles are. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these guys got some Big Ten O-linemen. And, those things to me are the things that allow a freshman quarterback to work. They've done an amazing job recruiting, and now they got a talented guy behind center. And I think the thing that we've picked up from them is, just gauging what they did last year to kind of the new this year, if you will, is they feel like that they can take shots down the field on you when you load the box. And that's what we have to be ready for.
Historically speaking, UTEP struggled against Power 4 schools. Just the mentality of kind of embracing that underdog role this week. What do you guys kind of have?
Yeah, we love it. Yeah, we absolutely love it. I mean, I'm a D3 guy and come from the ground up, and pretty much been the underdog my whole life. And so this is not a new mentality at all. And for us, we talked about the other night, like, why not us? I've said this before, and I'll say it again. As my time here as a head coach, you're never going to see me prepare to lose a game ever. And we're not going to play to lose a game. We're going to expect to win every game we play, and we're going to prepare to win every game. The amount of preparation that we're putting in for Nebraska is going to be the same amount of preparation we put in for Southern Utah all the way to those guys down the road the last game of the year. You know what I mean? Like our I think, championship standards, I think consistent programs, they are super, super consistent in their approach to every game, and this game is no different. It's a football game. There's going to be wide lines. There's going to be field goal posts. There's going to be 52 1/3 width, and there's going to be 100 yards, and there's going to be a lot of fans, and we're going to go play football. We're going to prepare to win, and our guys, they understand that. I think we've established that mentality that, while the outside looking in, people look at this, it's a money game, just get out healthy. Blah. I do not. I actually despise comments like that with all my heart and soul, because we're the ones as coaches and players that are in the behind the scenes giving our all for preparation, giving our all physically on that field, and I'm not going to invest, and we are not going to invest all of this time and effort to prepare to lose. We're going to expect to win. I've been a part of a few of these, in my career, and I've been a part of it when we go in just trying to get out of the game, and I've gone into it where we try to win the game. And I can tell you this, when you go in and you try to just get out of the game, you hurt your football team for the future. And a lot of people ask me before, do you change your style for games like this? The answer is no, not at all. Because I'm thinking about UTEP holistically. I'm not thinking about UTEP just versus Nebraska. If we allow Nebraska to dictate, who we are, we're going to lose things for the future. So we're going to be who we are. We're going to go compete to win every snap, and we're not going to back down. And we're going to coach to win. We're going to play to win. And I expect to put a group of fearless young men on that field that are going to compete every single snap. And we know we're going against an elite opponent. I told our guys, I've watched them on tape several times watching their defense units. I think you can look at the kickoff unit, and you can look at the field goal block unit of an opposing team and define the culture of that team's program. And this program's culture is elite. I'm talking about Nebraska. Matt Rule's done a heck of a job. When they run down on kickoff, they run down, and it's like 11 wild banshees running down there, freaking ready to rip somebody's head off. And then when they attempt to block, field goals, for me, that's the first thing I look at when we're looking at the culture of a team, because that's when adversity has struck, especially on PATs. They've just given up a touchdown. How do they rush when the chips are down? And these guys blocked 3 kicks last year. Number 0, number 9 on defense are as good a D-linemen as we're going to play all year. And those 2 cats, they don't know any speed but full speed. And so you can tell the culture of the program is really, really good there in Nebraska. Matt Rule, look at what he's done program building wise. His year 2s have been phenomenal. So we know we have our work cut out for us, but we're not going to back down.
Crowd-wise, you're probably going to be looking at a close to capacity crowd, I'm sure, in Lincoln.
Yeah.
It's going to be loud. How do you, with that offense and that tempo, how do you combat for what's going to be a louder atmosphere than your team is probably going to experience this year?
Yeah, it's a great question. We've tried to turn the volume up a little bit on the speakers at practice as well, just to try to simulate it. But I don't know that you can simulate. Mock game, we had the real, instead of having speakers in the mock game on Saturday, we actually did the Sun Bowl, did our true, game day speakers, just to get the guys in a feel of a game day environment, so to speak. But, I will say, my experience playing Tennessee last year, who was just, one of the most unbelievable environments out there, and we didn't have the headset communication. Now that we have, and we were, sugar, I'm about to drop off these things right here. Sorry guys, I won't cost y'all money right there. Make sure I got these. All right, boom. Okay, but we were able to have success communication-wise on against Tennessee. And it wasn't an issue doing, using our hand signals. And now the fact that we have the in-helmet communication, I really feel like that can help us tremendously be able to communicate with our players. But it's hard to simulate 100,000 fans no matter how loud you play the music. But, it's something certainly that we talk about with our guys. Try not to focus on it too much, but we do want to, we don't want our guys to have surprises, right? The other part, on Friday we'll go walk through it at the stadium there in Lincoln Memorial to get them the awe factor out of the way, and so that helps as well.
Coach Walden, can I just ask, obviously going through summer, spring, grueling fall camp, now that it's game week, just what's going through your mind and the program's mind?
Yeah, I think the vibe through the building all today has been just excitement. Everybody's walking through the building just smiling at each other and dapping each other up, and this is what you work for. To be able to get the game week and to be able to get we call it payday on Saturday, and that's what we call game days. We call them paydays, and that's what we are excited about. But I think our guys, you could feel like that last week of fall camp, you could really feel them like, all right, we're tired of hitting each other. We're ready to go hit somebody else in another color jersey. So I think number one word to sum that up is excitement. That coupled with it's the first day of school here on the UTEP campus, it's a different vibe when you come into campus. Shout out to all the minors. Hope you went to class today. Hope you checked your schedule. Hope it was a great day of class. But it's a different vibe. You pull up and I walk in my office. First thing I see is the band practicing on the field. The marching minors. Dr. Hotalen's got them out there getting after it. It just feels like a game week. So the excitement is there. And now we got to go put the execution to it.
You came, and we didn't know what to expect, and you have built this orange culture by yourself, I believe, and all the things you've done in the community and all that. What's the most off the cuff thing that you've learned about doing everything you've done and trying to create a culture that will show up at the stadium?
Yeah, I just think, and I appreciate you saying that. We've built it together. It's definitely, it's not just been me. We have built this thing together through the admin, through our community outreach services and opportunities. We took our team to 3 different churches in fall camp. Victory AME. Tyrone McDuffie, his father, serves as a pastor there, and that was really cool. And then taking guys over to First Baptist, over to Abundant, and just getting them out in the community and making sure that our team is visible in the El Paso community. But I think that has been, for me, the most amount of joy that I've had, so far, being the head coach here at UTEP, is the interaction with the people. Getting to go to GECU, going to West Star, and just seeing the passion of El Paso and getting our team in front of that. Because believe it or not, man, our team sees all that stuff. They pay attention to that stuff, and they care. And when they see that the fans care about them, that the El Paso natives are passionate, they get excited, man. And so we are thrilled to put that pickaxe on our helmet on Saturday and represent the 915, represent El Paso. And we're a program that's trying to earn respect, and I think we've earned respect in our community. And now it's time to go earn respect in the state of Texas and go earn respect nationally in everything that we do. So there's no better opportunity than a nationally televised game against a Power 4 opponent to go earn national respect for our brand and for the city of El Paso. We feel like when we put that uniform on, genuinely we feel this way, and I feel this way when I put this logo on. When we put that uniform on, I feel like when we go out there and play, no matter we're in Lincoln, Nebraska, we're in Lynchburg, Virginia, no matter where we go, we are the representatives of the 915. And so therefore, we are showing the people at that stadium, the fans, the opposing team, we are showing them a glimpse of what it looks like to be an El Pasoan and what it looks like to be a member of this great community. And so we want to display that with the most amount of integrity, energy, and passion, just like the people of El Paso display every day.
Anything else for Coach? Cool.
I've got one more. Just
Yes, sir.
talked on Tony White. I know you guys encounter each other in, I guess, the off season.
Yeah.
Is there a dynamic there, or just?
Yeah, no. Tony's a friend of mine. I've met him through just some coaching friends, and we ran into each other in the off season. And he's a great guy. We got to kind of chop it up about El Paso a little bit, and kind of talk about his time here. I don't want to be mistaken on that. Pretty sure he went to Burgess, if I'm not mistaken. He was at Burgess. Yeah, I don't want to mistake. So Tony, get on me in pregame if I mess that up. But he's just a great dude, man. He's a great ball coach. And so we talked about El Paso. Talked about I was talking about the headaches he was giving me in preparation, and he talked about the headaches that we display on film and kind of the unknowns. And so we're trying to keep some unknowns to keep him off balance. But he's a great coach, and I look forward to competing against him on Saturday.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great day.